figured I'd get on here a little earlier than normal just so I can make sure that we can actually like get on. Let me try something real quick. Hopefully we'll be able to get everybody on more easily. Hey, Bruce. Hey, Antonio. How are you?
What's up?
Hey, Bruce.
Hey, I can't believe it came straight in this time.
I know. I know. That's why I was just like, I'm gonna get like so. I started right around like 7:50 on the nose, just to allow for enough time in case.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, definitely.
What's going on with
Oh, and I'm just a little tired, but I have there's a storm front that just rolled through, so like I have some light sensitivities. It's a little darker in the room right now.
you?
Just
Yeah.
finding a mic.
What's up? What's up, Tonyo?
Armin, congratulations on your nomination for the National Bully Awards. Woo woo.
Yep, that's right.
Mhm. He's on there for best handler. That's awesome.
Mhm.
And the thing is, like, I love seeing people that I do know, and I'm irked when I don't. So it's like I have these mixed feelings, but obviously, like, I absolutely love seeing people on there that I know and that I know deserve it. And see Antonio's name on that was pretty freaking cool. That was
What's up,
definitely
Stuart?
awesome. Hey, Stuart. Mm, 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 mm. Did we?
Oh,
Oh, sorry. Oh, get my head to start feeling right. I'm light sensitive, so we'll see how this goes. Man, so how'd your fourth go?
um, actually, I was off, and
Mm.
it went really well. I really didn't do anything. One of my I guess I would say they're not family, but
Mhm.
they like friends. So I went and kind of like kicked it with them and everything. I
Yeah.
didn't cook anything, so because I was tired because I had just worked off the day before,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah, so actually I went and bought some plates. So there you go.
Yo.
What's up, man? What's all that around your face, boy?
Oh, what
Hey,
you talking about this? You
What's
talking
going
about
yeah.
this?
on?
Hey,
At least you can get it growing around your chin.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a while. I've been working on it.
that's why I got to. Like, looking at me bald, like you gotta have a beard.
I'm
What
working
up,
on
Malik?
it.
What's up,
Yeah, how you
man?
doing, man?
Y'all doing all right?
Yeah, we good,
Yeah.
man. How about
What's up?
yourself?
That's what's up. Good deal.
Cool.
Hey,
Glad to see
tonight,
you,
real
man.
real quick. Hey, wearing Southern Finesse Bullies. Like I said, every Tuesday, I'm gonna try to rock someone else's program, brands, things like that. So if y'all want to send it to us, shout out to William. Dubose, champion Apollo, 2 champion wins, going to grand champion. But hey, I'm sorry, Malik. I just want to shout that out real quick.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire. Apollo's like that for sure.
Yeah.
He really is. He looks like a
Yeah.
pocket. He looks like R2G2 or
Yeah.
grand champion Mac, just
Yeah.
taller.
Yeah. It
Like
looks
he is
bigger.
exactly what an XL should look like.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to be here though, guys.
Yes.
Great, great.
No, we're glad to
Oh,
we're
Aaron.
glad to
Hey,
have you.
man.
Hey,
This
happy
is
belated birthday,
yeah,
Aaron.
Aaron has been watching. I'm excited. So Malik, this has been a minute in the making for sure. I'm excited to have you and to get to know you a little bit better. It's we met at Pull Up or Shut Up, Stuart and Sean show, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Amazing. Yeah, that was a good time, great people. You were definitely one of them. So that was awesome. And when you agreed to come on, I know that Caleb and I were, and Bruce were all stoked about that because that was definitely one of the goals for that day was to get you on. So I know that that mission accomplished, obviously. So
Yeah.
uh,
I love I love this show, man. I love
well, go ahead, Caleb.
it. You said
Oh shoot!
what?
Without further, oh, you
Oh,
want
I'm
to ask
sorry.
the introduction? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, without further ado, Malik, we always start just introduction. How'd you get into dogs? What program name you are, if you have any business attachments, anything like that. Just tell us about yourself, man. Introduce yourself.
Well, from Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, born and raised, 24 years old, born and raised around dogs my whole life, basically. Been studying the bullies for quite some time. So I was in high school when I finally came across them. Like, I thought they were pit bulls, like big pit bulls, but came across the bossy bloodline and stuff on Instagram and Facebook, and they would always pop up. And I'm like, dang, these dogs are gigantic. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, shoot, because we weren't dealing with dogs at the time because, the pain of losing dogs and stuff like that. So my dad had lost all the pits that we had. And he was like, I'm good on dogs for a while. So he's like, don't bring no dogs home. And
Yeah.
I'm hyped. So first thing I do, I want a dog for Christmas. Go bring some dog I got from Walmart parking lot home.
Of
I
course.
bring him, and he's the oldest dog on the yard right now. He's like 8 or 9 years old. But ever since then, I knew I wanted to tap back into the dog somehow. I got golden doodles after I graduated high school. I got a couple golden doodles. I own three. Had a few litters with those, and then I've transitioned into the bullies just because it really just reminds me of my childhood really a lot.
Yeah.
Growing up and stuff like that, but just a different temperament. But we were blessed to have a lot of good tempered dogs growing up. But yeah, that's about it. Trying to learn and grow, that's about it.
Yeah. Golden Doodles? You went from Golden
Yeah,
Doodles to Bullies?
yeah. I
Weirder
got three right
transitions
now.
have happened, Caleb. Weirder
Yeah,
transitions have happened.
Oh, I
yeah.
love Golden Doodles. They
They
were
were
something
cute. They
different.
were cute. My
Yeah.
girl wanted one, and then I was like, "Shoot, I want one." So we got a girl, boy and girl, had a couple litters, and
They're
kept the
cute.
peak down. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
No,
Attention
absolutely.
getters.
They went
Malik,
out.
that's what attract.
They're attention getters for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. And they got
For
very, very
sure.
popular. Like they for a while, and they still are. There's a lot of people
Yeah,
that like the Golden Doodles.
yeah, they're unique for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Malik, but what attracts me about you and your program, which you actually just branded it, so let's go into a
Yeah,
little further about your program too. But
yes,
what
sir.
I like about you is you're so well spoken and was so well educated. Like you've really educated yourself on the
Yeah,
American bully and what you're trying to get into and what your program's all about at a very young age. So your trajectory is very, very straight to exactly where you want to go. You're a very precise guy.
yes,
I
sir.
like that a lot about you. And like I said, that's what really attracted me because you're not one of those guys that just talk dogs. Like you tell there's knowledge and there's in the open conversations you have and the lives you have, they're
Yeah,
very, very motivational. They're very educational.
yes, sir.
And I know tonight's going to be a spotlight on that too. But let's go into your brand. I know you just branded your program. What's your kennel name and how you
Uh,
and your dad play a part in both of this?
Yeah, so I've been thinking of something for a while. I didn't know if I really was gonna wait and do it later on, but I figured I kind of want to like start mainly focusing a platform just for the dogs and not keeping my face on there. So just secluding the dogs and just content on the dogs. But yeah, I came up with the name Legacy Bulls because I figured it's a pretty cool name. Leave a legacy and try to do something great with the dogs, leave it better than I found it. My dad personally, he's going with his own brand as well, so it'll kind of be like a little joint venture as well.
Okay, nice.
He's gonna go with Black Chips Bulls. So he likes the name of Black Chips, and he does the little platforms as well. So I think he's gonna do a little trademarking there, making them black and stuff like that. And yeah,
Yeah,
we're kind of a joint venture for sure, without a doubt. But you know what I'm saying, it's easier to distinguish two different productions that way too. Like if I have a certain vision that he might not have, I can kind of just put it under my little brand and he
Right.
yeah.
can there.
That's
I like
no
that.
that. Yeah. It's always very very personal when you're able to do something like that with your family, but also still manage to keep your own intrigue, I suppose. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like you can, yeah,
exactly.
your own distinction. That's. I like the way you guys are doing that.
Yeah,
It's a great support system as well.
yeah. It's a little thought behind it, just in case, you might come around some. He has a vision at one point, and I might have a different vision, so that just easily distinguishes it for sure.
100%.
You got an identity for sure.
But shoot,
But one, oh, go ahead, Bruce.
I was gonna say, shoot, I'm rocking both brands anytime though. I don't care. I
Yeah,
don't
absolutely.
care.
That's cool.
Nothing
Yeah,
wrong
you grow
with it.
So
together, man.
so look with the dogs that you even going back to the pits. How
Hmm.
many years have you been around dogs and breeding?
Uh, I was like 2 or 3 when he started messing with the dogs, and he did that for till I was like 13, 14. So
Okay.
about a 5 year gap between there.
I ask you that because I see some of the posts that you make, and you literally know what you're talking about, breeding dogs and such things. Therefore, so I'm saying now this cat look like he about 16 years old,
Yeah.
and he's talking this kind of, he's talking,
You got
dang.
the good.
But look, let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Do you ever get any negative feedback because everybody just don't think you have the clout? You
Uh,
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not that I know of directly, but I feel like it may be some subliminal stuff there. But not that I know of directly, but I don't really get into it. I just try to educate or whatever I'm thinking that day, just try to put something out that day, because you never know. I know there's a lot more people that are watching that are than that are tuning in. So that's basically
Yeah.
what I do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
And you know
exactly.
what, Malik? And the thing is though, I wanted to ask you that because a lot of people that's been in the dog game think they shouldn't listen to what you have to say. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah,
they might listen to a little bit of part of it, and
yeah,
then as you keep they'll just flat, just swap you off and swap your
exactly.
page like you don't think you know what you're talking about, or they just won't give you time
Yeah,
to get everything out instead of judging you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But
exactly.
if they just sit and just listen and just take in, a lot of that's why I can't stand the bullet community, man, because sometimes you get that arrogant person that think
Yeah,
they knows everything and
yeah,
and don't want to listen to nobody that's younger than them
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and say, they might just think you've been in the game 2 or 3 years, but they don't know your background.
yeah,
Right.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But hey, man, but keep pushing, man. Hey, I like you. I listen to your stuff, man. I do. I
Yes,
really
sir.
do.
Yeah.
Caleb,
yeah,
Caleb said something about it too. He come in on something, man. Y'all need to listen to this guy because he knows what he's talking about.
yes,
And
Yeah,
so, and I went on your page and I just started listening. I said, man, this dude look like he's 16 years old and got this much education. Hey, man,
yes, sir.
hang in
yeah.
there,
Because when
man.
you
Hey,
listen to
I'll
them, the
listen
knowledge is so
to
much
you.
more than what
Yeah.
your body
Yeah,
embodies. Hey,
yes, sir.
shout out Raul. Hey, Raul Fagundes, tuning
Yeah.
in,
What's up, Raul?
QBN.
Sure. That's a big
So
guy
hey,
right there too. I've done
Oh,
a lot of watching his videos and stuff like that as well over the years.
oh,
yeah.
definitely. And
But
I,
Malik,
I like.
I love the knowledge. I love the knowledge that you're portraying to people. And where does that
Yeah.
knowledge come from? Like, is it just constant studying? Like, how did the love of bullies really transpire into this?
Well, I started around end of 2020, beginning of 2021 is when I found the groups, and then I didn't really like take too much into it until like after I started understanding like there's different bloodlines that produce different dogs and different looks. So I thought they were just dogs, you know what I'm saying, coming together just to make dogs. So it took like a year and a half, 2 years just watching and just, you know what I'm saying, observing and absorbing everything in and just trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, what did what or who did what with who and trying to do that stuff there. And then once I got my hands on the dogs that we have now, I can kind of like see what traits they possess and how they came about and stuff like that too. But basically, just watching and learning and trying to just soak up stuff. Basically,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Cool.
really enjoyed watching. Like, so, um, they're blips, right? So
yeah,
remember, so it's really neat, and this is there's no other way really I feel like you can say this, but like, so yours are so well timed in the sense of, like, we always like to talk to people about when you're training your animals and things like that, you're trying to make it so that you give it the right amount of time for them to gain retention, right?
yeah,
They're not going to get too bored, they're going to absorb it, what you're saying, and they're going to retain it, right?
yeah,
Yours are perfectly timed, and the
Yeah.
information that you're giving is so well thought out. Your presentation of they just pick it up and they listen to it, they absorb it, they learn it, and then I mean, it's very clever. And I don't know if you notice that you do that, like time wise, you don't overdo it, you don't underdo it,
yeah,
and you stress the right things in the right order
yeah,
in your many lives. And I think that's it's very useful and it's very engaging, and so that was one thing that I definitely have really enjoyed watching your many lives is the information is so easy to retain because of the way that you present it.
yeah. Like I said, I just think about like whenever I started doing it, I didn't know any of this stuff. So I'm just like, shoot, there's somebody greener than I am, and if like another thing I think about as well is like a lot of stuff that I learned too. It wasn't actually like relative to the date it was posted as well. So like 2 years down the line, it might be somebody just now getting into it and they can search certain stuff and it might pop up and answer a few questions that they might not have been answered in the present day. So I'll think
I
about
love
that
it.
too. Yeah.
It's yeah. So what makes you, when you're getting prepared to do these blips, these
Yeah.
mini lives, like as you're preparing, like is it that you see something that inspires you, you see something on other people's pages, like, wait a minute, that I feel like there's maybe some confusion, so I want to learn about this so I can, teach what I've learned, or like, does it just hit you and you're like, okay, I got to talk about this like right now? Like, is there
Yeah.
a trend that you follow, or?
I don't really know how to explain it. It's just like some days it's actually like I might see something that sparks something, and then some days it just randomly just stuff just comes to my mind. I'm just like, let me, what I'm saying, record it before I forget it, because
Yeah.
it happens a lot. So I just try to be as authentic and raw as possible, because people love to try to like make everything so perfect, and I just want to just give it out there as raw as possible, not to try to put a facade or nothing like that. So.
No,
It's,
I'm
it's a
here
mixture of
for it.
both. It's a mixture of both for sure.
Yeah. Hey,
I
and for everyone that's to answer for everyone that's watching too, because they're probably like, well, what are these snippets? What is this knowledge? Tell us a few of the topics that you've
Yeah.
discussed and the reason why, because we can
Okay.
really transition. I'm hoping a lot of people that are watching this are going to watch this will go
Yeah.
and watch these lives too. So let's give a little snippet of these and the reason why.
I talked about a few different things. Talked about pedigree versus phenotype once, just describing, people's lineage or dogs' lineages versus what they look like in the physical form. Uh, what else have I talked about? My mind's going blank. I've talked about a couple different things. Um, Most lately, I've talked about the extreme dogs. Just saying, is that the new unwritten standard in the community?
I saw that you had the traditional
Yeah.
version versus the modern version, and that definitely struck up a conversation, I think.
And before that, I talked about American bullies should look like American bullies, and then a few other topics as well. But it's kind
I
of
think
hard to
one of
remember them all because I kind of mix just random motivation in with dogs too, so it's kind of
I
hard
Yeah.
think
to.
you had one too that I was really interested in.
Yeah,
I think it was how you pick your stud or something like that. Was it?
yeah,
Yeah.
It
yes,
was like,
sir,
Yeah.
yes,
yeah,
sir,
yeah,
yes, sir.
So,
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
for those, so I know that a lot of the folks that are going to watch this or are currently watching it or will watch it later. I know that this is going to result in them coming in and taking a look at your page and
yeah.
going over some of those mini lives that we've already gone ahead and mentioned. But I do want to pick your brain on a couple of the subjects that you went over,
There
because I
we
know
go.
that, again, you sit there and you want to learn, like you are hungry for
Yeah.
this knowledge. But the beautiful thing is, you're not just hungry for yourself. You will turn it around and be like, I'm going to give this like free
Exactly,
game. Like, I learned all
exactly,
this stuff and I'm going to share it with everybody else, and it's incredibly selfless.
exactly,
And that's something that there's some people that like to gatekeep, and there's others that like to give. And
yes,
you're definitely a giver. So I definitely
exactly.
want to dive into a couple of the subjects that you had done little lives on. My first one being the one about the traditional type versus the now modern type.
Yeah,
And the reason why I do that with my hands is because there's a blatant difference,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the imagery that you use to promote that live and whatnot. It's very it was obviously, visually there is a massive difference between the two characteristics of those two dogs. So kind of explain to me, as far as like traditional, like, is there a time frame that you feel like that was the expectation versus this modern? When did this modern expectation start, do you feel?
I want to say, but to me, just what I'm saying, doing research because I haven't been in the game too long, so I don't really know exactly. But I would guess right around like probably 2020, 2019, probably they started transitioning into the big bones, probably with the influence of Whopper. That's a lot of heavy influence right there. But I would guess right around there because before then, I'm looking at old pictures of shows and stuff like that, and it's just clean, correct dogs, kind of looking like old school, like California West Coast looking style dogs in a way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
nowadays is just transitioning to wider and lower, basically. But I would say right around there, if I had to guess, 2019, probably 2020. You
Yeah.
Yeah.
can really say good bar. 'Cause he was kind of extreme in a way, good bar, but he had a lot of influence on the community as well.
Hmm.
If you would say, so you're saying which dog you do feel kind of set that new trend the most?
Yeah, probably good bar Walter for sure.
And we're
Probably.
talking
Gotcha,
about more
gotcha.
Excel specific. This is more
Ah,
Yeah,
Excel specific, correct?
that's what I was. That's what the
yeah,
moment you said Wahlberg, I was like, okay.
Okay.
So we're talking about XLs, the difference between the XL shift, because the reason I'm so interested in your perspective on that is because um, the three of us, we all have XLs, and ours are different. Like they
yeah,
all have
yeah.
different traits. Mine is he's more of the older blood, like pre bulldog infusion. So he
Yeah,
is leaner, meaner, like body type. So he's
exactly. Classic.
right at 23, and he doesn't have as much bone.
Yeah,
And then you take a look at Bruce he's got these massive, like boned up, giant heads, like they're big beastly things. And they're shorter than mine are.
yeah.
And then you've got Caleb, who has this very, very, it's that medium right between the two. Like he's
Yeah,
got,
very balanced.
so they're different styles. And so that's why I was kind of curious as to how you felt about that transition from the more traditional to modern, because we kind of all have different shades of that of the XL.
Exactly.
So
I like a good balance, but it's kind of hard to go against, the very extreme dogs. They look good as well, so you want them
Yeah.
to always be functional and stuff. But yeah, I like a balance for sure. I like a balance.
I like what you said.
oh,
You want them to be functional. Like there's that fine line that I think every
Yeah.
breeder's really trying to waver is obviously you have to have bone. They have to look like a bully, but
Mm-hmm.
you still want them to be able to run around, like take on the hot weather, go to the
mhm,
beach with
mhm.
you if you want to take it to the beach. We live close to the beach. That's why I say that, because we
Yeah.
take Genesis. Levi doesn't like it too much, but they're functional, they're balanced, like you said, that they can
Yes.
go and do that. So it's tippering around that fine line, trying to add the bone, trying to add the girth, but also knowing what your dog's able to do, because you need the freaky to get that balanced if you have a dog lacking. And so that's the beauty of breeding. I love it. Like it's always just what can I get better at? What can I produce a little bit teetering that line again still?
Yep.
Exactly.
With
Oh,
Teddy, I
for
think
sure.
that's teetering the line very, very nicely. Like he's very, very functional, but
Yes.
he's very, very bully. And so I in Opie, Landon Phillips is in the
Yeah.
live. Like I want to put hands on him. You can tell he's a functional bull.
Yeah.
There's videos of his movement. There's pictures of him moving, and you can tell he's not one of those dogs that just go in a cage. Like I don't want a
Right.
dog that's like, okay, go away. Like
Exactly.
that freaky. That's too freaky. Like no, now your lifespan is
I
terrible.
went down to like
Yeah.
an 8. Oh my God. Oh yeah. No, do you feel that like as you've seen the trend like in real time in person at the shows that you're going to, on these videos that you're seeing on people's timelines, do you feel like the XL's heading in the direction that it needs to as far as the existing breed standard, or are you of the mindset that this breed standard itself needs to change to adapt to what's going on with the XLs at present?
That's a great question. Me personally, this is just my opinion. I feel like it's going into a better direction for sure, but kind of want to keep it confined, and if that makes sense in a way.
Yeah.
Like there comes a time where you can get too extreme, and you don't want to really cross those borders. But if you can be extreme and functional, I'm all for it. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of here and there with that specific question because I like the old school look for sure, but everything needs to grow and evolve for sure. So I'm kind of here and there.
Look, Malik. So since you think the Bulls is going in the right direction, what do you think about the Brazilian Bulls now
Yeah.
going into that saga?
Yeah, me personally,
What
I like them. I like a
you
couple
do
of them
like?
that I've seen. I haven't seen them in person, but I like a couple of them that I've seen. Kind of reminds me of kind of like the old school build, but way more muscle. So
Yeah.
I really like. I think they could have a bullier head though. You can get a bullier head on them. They're top notch for sure.
Yeah.
So you like the eye separation that they have?
Not at the moment, but I'm sure that shoot, it will be, and brought to normality soon. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like you and I have the same opinion on that, where it's like literally, it's like having, spaghetti, but there's stuff on it you don't like. And it's just, but the spaghetti itself looks delicious. So it's like you've
Yeah,
got this beautiful animal, beautifully muscled, very well balanced, probably incredibly healthy, and then
yeah, yeah.
it's
They're
like, so
beautiful
it's like that
creatures
one
for
thing I'm
sure.
looking to iron out. But if that's the distinctive look they're going for, I don't
Yeah,
know, because the breed standard is still, I feel, a bit fuzzy. So it's like, is the close eye set going to be one of those expectations for that breed? Um, or, like with the pug with its, eye separation,
yeah,
um, which is obviously the stark contrast to that. But like, is that going to be the expectation, or is that something that they're going to try to work towards correcting?
exactly.
What I mean? That's like kind of what I would want to know from the people that are developing the Brazilian bull. So
Right.
hopefully we'll get some clarity on that. If anybody has any recommendations on someone who you feel like is doing that right, we definitely would want to
Hey, hey,
explore that.
Amanda, but you know what though? The thing is that okay, they have that distinct look, right? So
Yeah,
so if they correct, would it still be called a Brazilian bull?
Right, because how close would changing, because just like we've had this discussion a trillion times, where it's like
Yeah.
the headpiece on so many different breeds, that's the first distinction that you make when differentiating it from other similar breeds. And so obviously the headpiece, the way it's shaped, the eye set, the ear set, things like that. And so, yeah, when you look at a Brazilian bull, its body type is incredibly similar to a lot of XLs out there. So if you do change that eye set,
yeah,
then you could have a dog that you couldn't differentiate from an XL. So then what do you do? Like, is it
yeah,
the same breed?
exactly.
Is it a different breed? Like at that point, yeah, it really, really blurs a lot of lines. So, I mean, maybe you're right, Bruce. Maybe they need to keep it that way, or I don't know, man. I
I
don't
feel like
know.
I feel like it's something that could be bred out within probably 2 generations for sure.
Yeah,
If I had to get, depending on the traits.
But then it won't be a Brazilian bull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
it had the blood at least, right?
Oh no, but the phobia were enough.
Now
I
that's
mean,
that's when it can be registered as an American bully. Like I saw that they
Yeah,
kind of withdrew what they were doing. So now it takes what? Is it one generation in a senior judge to evaluate, or is it 2 generations for a Brazilian bull to
ooh, I
actually
don't
be
know.
registered? And we need to get more education on that. I would love to get Sam
yeah,
McDaniels on
Yeah,
here,
we got
someone like that
man.
with more
Yes, we
knowledge
do.
about it. But I
Yeah,
know
let
that
me
they
see.
kind of
Let me bring up
withdrew
the
with, now they are Brazilian bulls. They're
page.
registered as those. And I think
Mm-hmm.
certain amount of generations will actually, like, if you interbreed that into the American bully, which has already taken place,
yeah,
but it takes a generation or two in evaluation or something like that. That's when you
Yeah.
can actually get the dog registered to as an American bully instead of Brazilian bull, the kind of the transition.
Hmm. I
Okay.
don't even know that.
I believe that's how it is, because again, there's champions that are Brazilian bulls, like directly, like paperwork and everything. And that's what I respect about it,
Yeah,
is they're not trying to differentiate what they are. They're standing on their breed.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
it was such a wave that took place, and I think the XL world can honestly use the Brazilian bulls to a degree. I'm interested in seeing the generations, how they're bred with the American bully, to see what they're going to become. But
Mm-hmm.
massive influence is so big into the American bullies that honestly, I think this will kind of offset it, where it gives it that centered look
hmm
towards the standard of the American bully. I'm
Yeah.
hoping, and I think everyone else is hoping that's, kind of okay this to take place, but I hope that's what takes place. But I like that they kind of withdrew that and said, you're a Brazilian bull until a generation or two, whatever the case is.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah,
Uh,
they'll probably have to figure that one out. And it's going to be touch and go. I think that's going to be
Yeah.
pure trial and error, I think. And it's, I mean, it probably should be that way in all reality, where it needs to take its time as we figure out the best way to make those distinctions and to come up
Yeah.
with those rules, so that way everybody has time to get on the same page. I mean, because it's a little, I feel like it's a lot more complicated than when they came up with breeds like the Shorty Bull, like, because that dog is very, very distinct. There was a mission from the start to make it a separate breed. There wasn't any sort of
Yeah.
like, well, this is the new type of XL, and then it slowly started to, diverge enough that like you're okay. Well, now it needs to be a separate breed, or does it? Does it not? With Shorty Bulls, that was the mission from the start, was to create an
Yeah.
entirely separate breed. So obviously, there's going to be a different way you have to proceed with it, I think. So yeah, I mean, they'll hopefully iron everything out, but yeah, I definitely would like to kind of pick the brain of the ABKC on
Yeah.
how they're going to execute this moving forward, now that they've already kind of made a change since the initial change. So,
Yeah. There's a lot of gray
Yeah.
areas for sure, without a doubt.
yeah, for sure. I know on the next thing I wanted to ask you about on one of your posts was, I want to go over again how you pick a puppy.
Yeah. So I've only picked what 2 or 3 so far, but me personally, I like the distinct look of short. I like the compact dogs, short dogs, and I like the fact that if I pick a line bred dog, I have a higher percentage of the dog turning out rather than, what I'm saying, outcross dog. But me personally, I feel like that can keep growing as I learn and see more pups and put hands on more pups. But me personally, I like the short and compact look, bone and compactness for sure.
Short back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Compact.
love
I'm
it.
with you.
But here lately, I've been raving about the rears. I like the rears now too. You can kind of tell. I didn't know much about it, but as I'm learning, I can kind of tell the base and how wide they are and how wide they're set. It kind
Mhm.
of it kind of gives it away a little bit for sure.
And honestly, the shorter the back, I think that corrects so many problems. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
gonna make the rear thicker because now there's less room for it to differentiate.
Yeah,
And then it's just gonna look bully. Like the shorter the back, and it's
Mhm.
not gonna really have a sway in the back. Like a short back, I think corrects a lot of these problems with the XLs. Like a lot of XLs are chasing weights. I want a
Yeah.
140-pound stud. Where are they at?
yeah,
Teddy weighs like 115, 120, but he looks like he weighs 150 because his back is so short,
Yeah.
compact, and bully. Like, and that's what he's gonna produce.
proportions.
Yes.
That's a big thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Balance and function and functionality. And I think that, just as Caleb had said, I mean, there's, when you have a more compact dog, as long as it's not too compact, if there's a balance, then, the movement's going to be better. It's, the dog's probably going to be healthier in a general sense when it comes to like hips, elbows, things like that. Yeah, it's just one of those things that, just like I said, it's going to be a trait that you definitely want to look at, like right off the bat.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey,
You can
Malik,
tell that.
Yes, sir.
Stuart just asked a question. He said, if you have the perfect female, who would you run? Who would you be running it to?
The perfect female XL. In the XL class. That's a good question. That's a good question. Um, Probably my personal opinion. I really like Duce. You can't really go wrong with Duce. Probably Duce if I had to pick one. Yeah,
He is a
I like Duce.
complete dog. Like we've seen them. We've competed against them. Genesis and him went against each other, best in breed. ABKC, Columbus, Georgia, iconic pitcher,
Heavy
like
hitter.
two legends, and we actually used Duce and have
Yeah,
another credit to him. So I agree with you, man.
heavy
I had to
hitter.
put my 2 cents in on that one.
I like to
I
say,
mean, it's not even that you're partial, it's just true.
yeah. But other
Yeah,
than
Sean
Duce,
Jeremy
because
produced a beautiful dog.
I do own a Duce son, that's kind of biased. Other than Duce, I would go. I like Champ Future. I like Future a lot too. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And
I feel
Future's made some great bulls, and his son Top Gun has made some
Ooh, that's one of my favorite right
beautiful
there.
bulls. Obviously,
yeah, I
Caleb
love it.
can speak to the truth of that. So, yeah, that litter has been fun to watch grow up, especially Teddy. Obviously, I see more pictures of Teddy than the other members of the litter, mainly because of my proximity to Caleb and Nikaya. So,
Yeah,
but man, damn,
yeah. Top
beautifully,
Gun,
beautifully
Top Gun's a
produced.
producer. Shotgun,
Hmm.
he's got some
Yeah.
beautiful sons out there.
and Shotgun
Hmm.
was very compact.
Eric, no, I haven't seen Zippo. Hey Malik, I got a question for you though,
Yes,
and
sir.
we wouldn't be a good bully talk if we did not discuss this tonight.
Okay. Oh.
Topic of discussion in the bully world right now is just the national awards that's coming up. How do you feel
Hmm.
about that? And
Hmm.
really, how do you feel about it? Tell us your opinion on this.
Uh, as in just the ABKC Nationals.
No, it's the national award ceremony that's taking place. The list that have come out
Oh,
of like
okay,
the
okay,
top
okay.
20.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I don't really know much about it. I haven't really tapped too much into it. I do like the fact that there is a community recognizing people doing great things with these dogs, because that's
Yeah.
rightfully so. There's blood, sweat, tears put into these dogs and countless amount of hours and dollars. So I definitely feel that people should definitely get their recognition if they're out there doing the breed a service. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely
Well,
stand by that, rewarding good folks for doing good things.
Agree.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I personally love it. I think it's cool that something for people to strive for. And I know there's a lot of
Yeah.
controversy behind it. And I love the dude. I forget what Donald Murphy, I believe his name is, for putting this on the second annual. Like it creates a lot of positivity in the community. It creates a lot of controversy because everyone wants
Be the
to do
best.
this. And there's people that possibly should be on it that aren't. But it's all about nominations and about everyone putting others' names up, and that's really how they got on the list. So honestly, I like this, and I hope every year it gets better and better. But that's where people need to nominate, you know, the
Yeah.
peers that really deserve it, like a
Yeah.
James Aba and things like that. And I'm not trying to be controversial tonight. I love it. It's like the
Yeah.
Oscars of the bully world. Like it
Exactly.
gives you
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
platform
Yeah.
to
That's
really
definitely
be
what we're trying to do.
recognized. Stop, girl. So
Oh, absolutely.
I've been for it. Like I love it. And I think that, like I said, people that are controversy about it, really look what it stands for. It's people that were nominated for it. So
Yep.
next year, like nominate
And you know
people
what?
that deserve
And,
it.
Yeah.
and you know what, Caleb? That was my next question. How did they, but you kind of answered it though. How did they come up with the nominee or whatever? How did they go by? What they go by? Most wins,
Inquiring minds want to
what do
know.
they go by?
Nominations, I think it's people like the community, like saying their name and nominating them, like where their name comes up enough. Because when they said that, I think they actually put it out where they were like, hey, we're looking for the categories of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the most nominees, I believe, is the ones that are actually going to be into the pool of 20 of each category. And then it goes down to 5 that actually get to go to the ceremony. Now, everyone can go. You just got to buy tickets, but there's going to be 5 that are actually
Yes.
going up against for each class,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they're nominated for. But it's all nomination. It's all the community that's voting and things
Okay.
like that. So it's all on nominations.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty
Gotcha.
cool right there.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, I might be a little biased because, hey, everyone watching, go vote for Bully Pride Productions. We actually got on there.
Yeah. Excel reader.
At first, it actually said Bully Pride Foundation. So I'm just
I
like,
seen that. I seen that
That's
earlier.
I
why I
don't
like
know if
held off
that's
on
us.
voting. I was like,
I don't know if it's not. But then today, had someone
Hey,
reach
they
out and they're
fixed
like,
it.
hey,
They fixed it.
yeah, it's being corrected.
yeah.
Actually, I'll shout her out, Sarah Roach,
Yeah.
a legend in the game, someone that I look up to. Like reached out, and she's like, they're fixing that. That's you.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like that's really, really cool. It's an honor to be recognized with those others.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like I said, there's plenty of others that should be recognized. But again, it all comes down to nominations. So next year people vote. And this year people vote. And that's Bully Pride Productions.
I seen that yesterday. I saw somebody stole your flow. I was about to say he got competition with the same name. Golly, I don't know who they are, but dang.
Oh,
Yeah, there was a couple. And I think that they're getting all these fixed on the individual basis. But yeah, we had I noticed a couple of our friends were on there.
there's
And they
Sarah Roach right
misspelled the
there.
last
Hey,
name.
shout out Sarah Roach. Love you. Thank you.
So yeah, there was definitely some things that they're ironing out. But I mean, the premise behind it is incredibly noble. I'm excited to see a lot of the people that I really enjoy and really care about on there. The ones that didn't make the cut, like I'm wanting to see you on that. The next year, the year after that, the year after that. Like I want to see more of you guys on there. So just like Caleb said, I mean. Whenever it's about time to start throwing those nominations in the hat, definitely do that. Don't keep your admiration to yourself, because I would love to see so many more people make that nomination list.
Yeah. Hey, great question that just came in. Malik, good
Yeah,
question from Edward Perez. He said,
that
"What's up,
is.
people? Question: What does the Brazilian bull have that the American bullies need?"
I say breed type, muscle. Um, I like the proportions of the bull, and actually, like it displays the actual muscle that's on the dog, and not just having sloppy or overweight or extra skin, loose skin. Very tight.
Yeah,
And then it's just a overall great quality dog. Like what I'm saying. Those are type of dogs you stop in the street and ask what kind of dog is that. You know what I'm saying? But they got a wow factor for sure. Distinctive look. So I say
oh,
breed
definitely.
type and tight skin for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely tightens the skins in the
Yeah,
XL class. Like it tightens that skin. It
good
rounds
answer.
out the head.
yeah. There's less of the flop jowl, which has been something that I know has been kind of plaguing the XLs for a hot second. The Brazilian has kind of toned that back down, which was good to see. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm with you, Malik. I'm with you. I agree.
they seem very
Yeah.
balanced on Facebook. I haven't really seen them in person. So
Hey, I like what Landon's putting. That you're right, Landon. The XL class, in my opinion, is the most scattered class.
It
And
is.
I think that the Brazilian Bulls will help the XL class as a whole. I think there's enough to really go off of that people should breed that are breed type that show what the breed is about with XLs. But I think there's been so many people that have gone different directions that the
Mm-hmm.
Brazilian Bull will help center it as a whole, just because of the huge massive influence, the loose jowls, the loose skin, the longer muzzle. So I think that will balance it. But I like what you're saying, because I agree with you too.
Hey, I'm about to
There
say
is
you
enough
misinterpreted
pull.
what he said.
Yeah. Oh, I'm agreeing but disagreeing, because there is enough, and if the XL class would stay within that just enough and interbreed within that just enough, I think there would be a beautiful XL class that could compete. But there's
absolutely.
so much, the XL class is over 20 inches.
Yeah.
The written standard says 20 to 23, but the XL class is really, you could be
25.
30 inches and still considered per paperwork like an XL American bully. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what an XL American bully should look like, but you could still register as an XL American bully. Different classes have, a 2 to 3 inch that 3 inch range that you
Hmm.
have to stay within. The XLs, it's so diverse. And a lot of people are searching for that size. They're searching for that freak factor that we were talking about,
Hmm.
that the XL class as a whole is scattered. Now, I like to stay within a versification of people that can really look at what it is, and I've really centered myself around those in our program. Antonio McClinney, Corey O'Neill, like those programs that really had some XL classes that were compact bulls. But yes, there's been such a scattered in the XL class.
About
Yeah, and it well, and Dima actually, he's definitely clarified that technically it shouldn't exceed 23,
Per
and I
standard, I agree.
feel, yeah, and per the standard, and I agree that obviously trying to make sure you adhere to that. There's going to be some mishaps where they're going to be an inch or two over
Yeah.
by accident, or they're going to be an inch or two shorter because genetics are weird. But at the same time, it's just like, luckily, since they're all technically the same breed, just separate height classes, interbreeding the several classes with each other to try to correct those issues is still possible. So, is it less desirable to have a dog, an XL that's over 23? Obviously, yes, because putting them in a show ring, if they whip out the wicket, you're not allowed to cry about it.
yeah.
Hey, look, it did ask another good question, but we kind of spoke on that a little bit. But he said, "Do you think it needs to be separated since the American Bully has been evolving over the 25 years?" We
He said,
talked about it, kind of touched a little bit.
hold on, say
You
that
know what
one
I'm
more
talking
time.
about earlier?
Do you think it needs to be separated since
It's
American Bully has been evolving? I
been evolving over
that
25,
that in
last
the
25
Brazilian
years.
bull, is that what he's referring to? Brazilian?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I would say so just because it's, what I'm saying, two different things. It's kind of like peas and green beans, I would say. I would say so just because that's what it was bred to be, the Brazilian bull. But
Yeah.
people have already used them. So I would say, shoot, if you're going to use them to fix what your dog is missing and then go back to what you were doing
Yeah,
before.
breeding pool. Yeah, I
Yeah,
use them as breeding pool.
for
Breed
sure.
in, breed out.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that's the thing. It's not every dog's a show dog.
Yeah.
You're going to have dogs on your yard that are not going to be quite to the standard the way you need them to be, but they're going to be a beautiful tool to create the dogs that will be.
Yeah.
So
But
there's
see,
absolutely
hey,
nothing wrong with having a dog that's a little
and
outside
since
of
you
that
said
standard
that,
of using as breeding tool.
you still have to be careful, Amanda,
Every,
when you do that, because like, okay, if you're looking at a dog to use as a tool, right?
Hmm.
So he have everything, but he got still stifles. I still wouldn't breed to him. I would.
You
I
wouldn't
wouldn't. No,
hit
I
us.
wouldn't.
Give us the why, Bruce. Come on. Hit
Because
us with the why, baby. I want to hear
because
it.
you putting stiff stifles in your lineage,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it isn't. You probably can get it back out, but it's probably going to take you 2 or 3 generations. So if you're trying to get something else and you add another flaw, just because you looking at something, you might be looking at headpiece, you might be looking at short back. But if he got to still stifle, you know what I'm saying? It's just some things that a dog might look good, but you got to make sure that you breeding to the
Oh,
right
yeah.
dog.
You
You
got
know
to
what
be
I'm saying?
strategic for
Even
sure.
though even
100%.
though he got everything, he got everything, but he got stiff stifle with it. Is you willing to take that chance? You know what I'm saying? Is you
Yeah.
willing to take that chance?
Yeah.
Every breeding is pros and cons, and you have to evaluate your
Yes.
female and
Mm-hmm.
what she's throwing and the lineage she comes from, and then the male. Like now, if the male's mom and dad have very good angulation and been throwing it, he's just kind of an anomaly. Like if he was off my yard, I would look to see what he's throwing before I use him. But I got to weigh the pros and cons. If I got a beautiful female with angulation and he provides everything, like every breeding is going to be pros and cons. Like and figuring out, but I like what you're saying. Like
Hmm.
I don't. That's a huge problem, and I think that's becoming more of a problem because I think a lot of people are looking for fronts, a stack dog, and wavering on
Super good.
the rear, which the stiff stifles create a high rear. So I think that's a good topic. But
Hmm.
every single breeding, you got to sit there and say, what does this male add? And what can my fit? How do they complement each other? And what am I going
Right.
to get out of this? And what's my next breeding? Because if you're not looking at your next breeding,
Yeah.
and I'm not talking to you specifically, Bruce, I know you're looking at 3
Yeah.
generations down the road.
Yep.
But you have to do that to know exactly what you're bringing in and how you can get it out if there is
Mm-hmm.
flaws. And
Hmm.
if you're not going and putting your hand on these males that you're using, you're 3 steps behind because pictures can, especially with AI and all this now,
Oh, I know this
people
anti-swap is so terrible. So
you
bad.
don't know what picture's real or not now. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy. So go put your hands on these dogs. And that's
Yep.
why I like going to shows, because you're
Yeah.
rubbing elbows with the community.
Mhm.
You're making relationships. You're seeing the dogs in person. You cannot hide flaws when the dog is moving in a ring. Like,
Yep.
it's literally designed to show all flaws, the down and back.
Yeah, oh
In
yeah.
a ring. It's designed to
Let's take
show
those
the
dogs
entire
apart.
bully. And that's what I love about going to shows. People are like, oh, there's show dogs and there's freak dogs. No, there's dogs per standard. And I think those dogs per standard should be going to the show rings to really showcase that and to get people to breed to that, because that's what we need to breed towards.
Hey, and you know what? Sinatra just said something too, and I agree with him 100%. Um, he said that. Let me see. Let me find it. The complete package dogs. Just because if you see this dog and you like this dog, and we going back to the stiff stifles again, there's other dogs out there that look just as good. It's complete. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't just breed to this dog because he's close to me and I can
Yeah.
put my hands on him. We got to kind of branch out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And this is a
Mhm.
planned breeding. So you branch out stud that you like. There's plenty of studs out there that's complete. That got everything that you need. I'd rather do that than breed to a dog that's got a flaw.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
That's just
absolutely. If you can find
that's
the
just
perfect
me.
stud that complements your female perfectly,
And
damn
and
right.
and just like you just said, okay, look, we gonna put it like this. Everybody like Duce, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, say for instance, you got a dog that look like Duce, and he got still stifles, and Duce is right there too. They kind of look alike, but Duce is a complete dog. But you looking at a dog over here that look like Duce in the front, but he got still stifles. Which one you going to?
Oh, what you say every day.
So,
Oh yeah.
Oh
so
yeah. Yeah. There's definitely certain
I'm going to the
traits to
more
really avoid.
complete balanced dog.
Yep.
Absolutely. But there's no perfect dog. So every
No,
dog's going to
it's
have
not.
some form of flaw.
Well, and
Right.
you do have to decide, and actually, Malik, we've had this conversation. I think you've actually touched on this as well, as far as like when you're looking at dogs and analyzing people's breeding stock, you're looking at like when you're trying to like pick a stud, you're trying to figure out like what's going to be the most difficult trait that that particular stud has in contrast to the others that you're considering. What traits are going to be the hardest to breed out if they actually do end up showing up in that litter?
yeah.
And there's going to be some that are they're just going to be a lot harder to breed out. And just like Bruce touched on, stiff stifles, that's going to be a real freaking hard one. High rear is also no fun in a general sense, even whether it's a result of stiff stifles or just in a general sense having high rear. But yeah, what do you feel is probably one of the traits that you would literally avoid like the plague?
Me personally, definitely the stiff stifles. I've seen a lot of dogs. They, due to the bulldog in them, they got messed up bites as well. So me personally, I don't want any stiff stifles or messed up bites. Me personally, when I start to produce.
Yeah.
So definitely looking to miss the high rears and the messed up underbites or overshots, because
Yeah.
that'll
So,
drag on.
hey, so on one of your lives, on one of your educational videos,
Yeah,
I think it was one of the first ones, you were talking about pedigree versus the phenotype, and I know
yeah,
we're hitting on that with picking your stud.
yes,
So
sir.
how would you go about picking your first stud for your female, like with the pheno and the geno and everything?
Basically, shoot, it'd all be based off the female. My thought process.
Mhm.
Uh, First of all, I would look at her pheno for sure. Whatever she's lacking, I'm trying to correct with the other guy. But the lineage plays a big part as well, because I kind of want to make sure that those productions tie into my next productions as well. So it all will be case by case. It'll depend on the female for sure, but I just try to just use my discretion and pick the best one I could possible. considering all those factors.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're saying
Yeah.
pheno's got to be there, and then you kind of
Yeah,
look into the geno and align the pheno or the geno to make sure that the geno matches the pheno that she's looking.
me personally. Me personally. Yes,
Absolutely.
sir. Yes, sir.
So this is a dosey do over there, Sheila.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that though, because
Yes,
the
sir.
the male in front of you's got to show you what I should be able to look at a dog and kind of generate what the pedigree is. Like the pheno should show the geno,
Yes, sir.
and if it does not, I don't think that
The
like
genetics are strong
some
enough.
yeah, exactly. It's not line bred enough for things like that.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I like a line bred dog, and I know that you were touching on that. Like I like to know what the stud's going to bring to the table that's going to put into my female.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Like he's bred for a certain way, and then he's going to produce a certain way, and
Mhm.
I know what he's going to give because my female needs that.
Yes, sir. Without a doubt.
Oh, absolutely. And it's one of those things where like out of the yards that you've the programs and everything that you've seen over the last handful of years, is there a program that you feel has produced so consistently that literally you see a dog out you've never seen before, you can point at and be like, I know where you got that dog, or I
There's
know
a
at least.
few of them. There's a few of them. We can definitely tell a big baller dog for sure. Definitely tell if a dog has bossy, but that's kind of subjective. Uh, guy I bought
Oh,
from not too long ago, Russell Young, is definitely standing on a look here
Yeah,
later.
Rhino.
Yeah, he's definitely throwing a look. I can see Rhino's offsprings a lot. Uh, other than that, that's about the ones that come to my mind freshly as
Sin
you ask me.
City. Sin
Oh
City,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Sin City.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, you can
Created a
definitely see
program off
that.
Destiny and just line bred
oh.
and created
That's
Bellagio and Boulder
titanium
and
tank. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
that's fire.
Exactly.
That's fire.
That's what it
You,
goes back to.
yeah, you can definitely tell them too for sure. But that's kind
Yeah.
of like I think in my personal opinion, Sin City is kind of like I won't say it in a bad way, but I would say few and far in between nowadays. People, well, I'll say exclusive. Let's say that. Not too
Yeah.
many people have it that I see personally
Yeah.
nowadays. Yes, sir. But I love that. I love the blood for sure.
Yeah.
Bellagio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Is
again, what
anybody
is your
else's audio coming in and out?
mine's
Can y'all hear
pretty
me?
good. Yeah. I
Yeah.
can
All
hear
right.
you
Yeah, because
fine.
I'm literally hearing nothing but pixelated sounds.
Oh, dang. Can you hear me now?
I can
Who has that Walmart Wi-Fi
I can hear
tonight?
you.
she does.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy.
At
Like
one time though,
like literally,
one
Hold on. I
one
might can
time, Malik.
move. I might can.
Hey, one
yeah. See,
time. Hey,
it's just
look.
like they're
One
hey, listen.
time
As long as
you was.
everybody else can hear you guys, I am solid.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you every breath. But one time you was talking, your lips wasn't moving, but I can still hear you.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I got y'all.
Sure, you're good on mine.
That's what's up. I got a few questions for
Yeah.
y'all. I don't know how long we got
Yeah.
left on here, but I'm not sure if y'all want to answer some. I brought some.
Yeah, shoot,
All
man.
right.
I
Okay.
like this because this is what you've been creating a platform with this. So show
For
them what you
sure.
got.
I'll try to speed through them. This is just for all of y'all. I'll start off with asking, what flaws do you think are overlooked too often in the show ring? If you could hear me,
Amanda?
could you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I
Yeah.
have nothing but pixelated and like a couple of vowels and consonants here and there, but no actual like I
Okay.
can't hear y'all very well.
Well,
I'm
hey,
about to
Bruce, if
Everyone
find the
else is
Wi-Fi.
like sound audio is great, sounds fine. So as long as they can hear you guys, I'm fine to
well, good.
I'm
Hey,
just glad that
if we
everybody
could
can hear
get
y'all.
10 minutes of her hushing and not answer, this would be perfect. This would be good.
You want to come in.
Oh, but Bruce, like you're a sanctioned judge, man. Take it away.
Man, I see
Love you,
a
man.
few high rears more than really anything. slight high
Absolutely.
rears. That's probably about the only one that I see that stands out a lot more than any other flaw. Slight high
Absolutely.
rears.
100%. I completely agree with that. I think that we're getting so much for the bully features up front that we're kind of counteracting the balance dog and going towards an extreme front, an extreme dog. So yeah, high rears, weak rears, stiff stifles,
Mhm.
Mhm.
hip problems, things like that. I think they're kind of overlooked to a degree just because the transition that the American I feel that the American bully is kind of taking on, an extreme look. And it says
Absolutely.
for the dogs to move flawless, but I think that that's the thing that's most overlooked. When people say breed type, they automatically take that and say
Fronts.
just the width of the front, the shoulder sets,
Yeah.
how
Absolutely.
well they stack and things like that. Breed type is everything. It's the
Absolutely.
nares, it's the angulation, it's
Yes.
everything.
Mhm.
But to answer your
And,
question, yeah, high rears and just the
and
rears
you know
heavily.
what? And I'm talking about every class too. I'm not just
Yeah,
talking about XL. I'm
100%.
talking about every class.
Absolutely. Another question I had is who inspired all of you when you first started breeding?
Well, me, I'm gonna go first, man, on that. Um, I just like dogs. So like I just love pit bulls, man, and that's what really started me.
Absolutely.
And that's how I, I started breeding dogs. Without a mentor, I didn't even know what a mentor was. You know what I'm saying? So um, just putting dogs together, man, I had a lot of trials and tribulations that, I shouldn't have done. I learned on my own. I made a lot of mistakes in breeding. Um, but yeah, that's my life history, man. Dogs in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mine, like when we really, really got very serious into breeding and knew a direction we were going is Corey O'Neill, Techno Lines. He taught me a lot on how to breed, how to line breed, how to, like, you go to his yard, and I'm blessed enough to be able to go to it. Just the consistency of every single dog. Like, I can see a dog at a show ring and be like, Techno Lines, like, I don't got to ask the lineage. I can kind of gear what the lineage is, and we can kind of go in a conversation about it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, but Corey O'Neill.
Corey O'Neill. Absolutely. And I'm gonna ask just one more because I don't want to ask too many. If you could bring back one dog from the past, who would it be and why?
Oh my God. If I could bring back a dog from the past, it'd be my boy off of Notorious One Gotti. I would bring him back from the past.
Heck yeah.
Mine
I
is
bring Dottie
very,
back.
very, is what? There
I
she
bring Dottie
is.
back himself. Yeah, as well.
Absolutely.
I
That's
mean,
fire.
what tradition?
Classic stuff for sure.
I'd bring back
Hmm.
Genesis, man. Like, no questions
Oh yeah, no
asked.
doubt.
I
Oh,
don't care if he ever did a breeding or not again. Like, I would bring him back. Like, love on my girls. Like, be the dog that you were. Like, I don't care. Just live your life. Like, but
Absolutely.
yeah, that's more sentimental than or breeding also. Like, he left
oh,
us in
yeah,
very good
you
position.
need
Like, a lot of he threw his stuff and he was bred to. But yeah, Genesis for me, easy. No questions asked.
definitely.
I have one more.
Yeah.
Let me ask one more.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Uh,
Come on.
okay. Uh, hold on. Okay. What's your ideal representation of an XL bully that is living right now, not owned or produced by you?
Apollo. Apollo.
Fire.
He looks like Grand Champion Mac, just longer legs. Like, seriously. And I don't put that comparison easy. Like, Grand Champion Mac is my ideal. Samson, Grand Champion Mac, I love the look of them. I love the muscle tone. I love the head feature. I love just
Mm-hmm.
the complete balanced dog with the extreme features.
Absolutely.
Apollo is that for the XL class. So William DeBose, shout out again. I'm actually
Oh,
wearing a shirt tonight.
Yes, sir.
Southern Finesse Bullies. We're actually waiting for a confirmation. Teddy, bred to an Apollo littermate sister.
Fire.
confirmation coming in about 2 weeks. So hey, just had to throw that out there.
Fire.
But yeah, Paula for me.
Hey, I think I'm with you on that. It's something that we agreed on, Caleb. I'm with you on that.
What was the actual question? Because he blipped out for a second when he asked it. So I was trying to gauge at what you guys were answering to determine what the question was, but I'm still like,
I said, what's your ideal representation of an XL bully that is living right now, not owned or produced by yourself?
Top Gun.
Fire. Absolutely
Top Gun.
fire. That's a great dog. That's a great
And Emmanuel
dog.
Tavares, if he watches this, he's gonna be like, man, forget you. I love Top Gun too. Like I
I already
tied
tagged him, so
Paulo with
hopefully
Top
at some
Gun.
point or another he'll
I
tune in. But
love
no,
Top
it's
Gun.
Top Gun for me. When you look at that dog, I mean, unless you actually see him standing next to somebody or next to other dogs, you might mistake him for a standard just because the way
Yeah,
he's built, the way he's shaped. And when you see him in person, you see how big he truly is, but how proportionate
And
he is.
balanced.
Um,
Exactly. I saw him
very
sweep
balanced. Yeah.
shows. Best in
Yes.
show, 4 shows.
that's
Mhm.
tough.
Sweep the show as an XL. Like we were going against them, and it was like, God damn.
Yeah, that's
I
tough.
love seeing you, but I can't stand at the same time. Like, man,
That's
your
tough.
boy is so tough.
Yeah, that's
We actually
definitely
met him the
tough.
day that Genesis championed out. And when we saw him, we're like, we gotta use him. We gotta use him. And we're blessed enough to have his blood over here, man.
See, that's another
Shout out Manuel
thing.
Tavares.
That's another thing. I feel like the people who don't go to shows, they're definitely missing out because they
Yeah.
see the dogs online and it's totally different experience in person for sure, without a doubt.
Man, just think of how many dogs that's really just I mean, that really can take it. And they don't even show them they just on the couch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just
that's
think.
crazy. I know.
Amanda, look at Shotgun. When he went to Georgia, that was his first show he ever went to.
Mhm.
They wicked him like in the first show. He was in XL class, and Shotgun is a
Mhm.
Top Gun son.
Yeah,
I forget what the
Crucial
guy's name
Bullies.
is. Like, yeah, thank you. Like, I
Yeah,
love that boy. So they wicketed him, and he was like 19 and 3/4. So they put him in the standard class.
mm.
Oh,
Swept the standard class, championed out in one day.
yeah.
And
That boy's
ABKC
Proud dad.
too.
bad.
Proud dad right there.
Yes. And that's a
Yeah,
big show. Like, there's
Yeah.
competition that comes out. Like, Marco Suarez was there. Molly Fuchs was there.
Yeah.
Like, there was very, very good competition there.
that's tough. That's definitely
Yeah.
tough. I was gonna say, Dan Rooney has a amazing production up north somewhere, and it's just sitting on the couch. I think it's forget his name. Dang, I
He
forget his
got
name.
he got a
He's an
few. He
amazing
got a
dog.
few. He
The
got a few,
Samson
man.
son, that
Yeah,
tribe boy over in California, John Wayne, I think his name is.
some Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne.
Bruce
That's
Wayne,
it.
thank you.
Yeah, he's nice. He's super nice
Yeah.
for sure.
And then
Yeah,
his
I
other
just,
boy,
I,
like, actually
yeah.
went to Louisiana. Um, his littermate brother that he had for a while, Bama, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
I'm
Yeah, I actually
trying to,
saw him in a
oh, never mind.
show, but I forget what his name is that actually has him now. He's been on the show too.
Yes, sir. Look at Pops. Shout
Yeah.
out Pops in here, man.
Hey, appreciate you, Rodney. Hey, I love
Yeah,
seeing y'all together, man. Y'all are such a vibe. Like, and
yeah,
I like that y'all are doing your own programs that there's never going to be a misdirection or mishap in y'all's relationship
yeah, yeah,
over like
You
a
have no
different direction
identities.
that you're wanting to go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I
Without a
like
doubt.
that that's what a dad should do is really, hey, you take your own identity, I take my own, and we intermingle like we need to, and let's build each other. Like whatever one
Mhm.
lacks, the other one might have, or the other one might not have.
Right,
Without a doubt.
right.
But views are going to be
Yes,
different.
regardless of your guys' end goal, as just like you'd said at the beginning, like your visions might vary, but ultimately, like just like he was saying, he's gonna have something that you need, or vice versa, and in between shall the two meet. And that kind of collab is I'm excited for you guys, and
Yes,
and
man.
and again, Definitely have it. You guys are comfortable with the notion of having your own identities and being willing to support that, and be a part of it, all while having your own thing. That takes strength and yet solidarity.
Yes, ma'am.
That's really cool.
Yeah, he's got some
Yeah, it
big
is.
news coming up soon. I don't know when he'll announce it. I'll let him do it. So
Ooh,
yeah,
Dad,
it should be pretty fire. Pretty fire. I'm excited. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
I'm ready to
like that.
see
You
it.
can tell y'all got a good relationship, man. Like I love seeing y'all at shows.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, a lot of people don't get the, you know what I'm saying, cherish moments with their family members. So I try to do it as much as possible. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
blessed to spend a
absolutely.
lot of time with them
Yeah,
for sure.
that's good stuff. So
As
what's next for you,
crazy as he
man?
might be.
Yeah, Eddie's probably thinking the same thing. Yeah, but what's next for your program? Like what breedings you got coming up? What shows you got coming up? Is there any new additions? Like what's next for you?
Well, yeah, for sure. Really just locking in, letting the dogs mature. Trying to learn as we go. Just walking the dogs a lot on the leads and leashes, getting them used because we have a lot of young dogs as well. Like I said, Pops has something coming up soon, so that should be very exciting. Hopefully, we can get some paws on the ground. Uh, Actually, just picked up a dog yesterday from a guy in Sparta, Tennessee, Mr. Tashawn Hilliard. He gave us a pocket or a standard female. We don't really know the measurements of her, but surely she'll be able to pop out here soon. She's looking nice. She's about 11 weeks old. Chocolate female.
You you said Tyshawn
I love
Hilliard?
that.
Tyshawn
Mhm.
Hilliard.
Yep.
Man, love him. That
I
dude is
love it,
so
man.
cool. I love his
Oh,
program.
man.
Yeah, for sure. That guy's
Grand
a
Champion
vibe.
Zeus. Like, oh
Yeah.
man, Tyshawn is such a vibe at shows too. Like he's always
Yeah, he's a
Tyshawn.
vibe,
Like,
man.
yeah,
He's solid though. He's solid. He just does his stuff and he
he
does what he got to
is.
do and he stays out the way. So I like that guy for
100%.
sure.
Always positive, always motivating. I love seeing him at shows.
Yeah, so
Oh, it's so positive.
I,
It's infectious, and I love it. I
yeah,
love it.
Yes.
I really
Well, and I
appreciate
think
him.
that's. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to actually kind of like basically, that's one of the things that it endears me to you as well, Malik, is that you are positive and you are wanting to give. So everything that you do is in a very, very positive manner. It's you're engaging with people because you're trying to enlighten. You're not trying to establish some sort of, not dominance per se, but
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah,
not trying to do that at all. Like
yeah,
literally, everything is so positive. So you have that too, my man.
yeah, for sure. I was just gonna say, it's a blessing, man. I appreciate Tyshawn for that for sure, because he got some good stuff and he knows what he's talking about. So
Mhm.
it's a
He
blessing for sure.
100% does. He's got a
But
program over there. People better watch out. He's got another thing coming or two.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. He's got some rounds in the chamber for
he got some
sure.
stuff up his sleeve for sure. I
Mhm.
was gonna say one last thing I'll be working on is just trying to pull in volume to directly to the Facebook, man. Just trying to get more views and just seeing what works and try to double down on what works and what keeps people engaged and saying weed out the stuff that people aren't as engaged in. But trying to stay consistent with posts and trying to get in the right algorithm so people can actually see my posts. Because a lot of times people post on Facebook and only a certain number of people can actually see them. So if you
Right.
post it, yeah, if you post enough, you can get into the right algorithms and shoot. When it's time to display all the hard work you've done, I just want to make sure we give ourselves the best shot possible of people seeing, what I'm saying, the hard work we're putting in or plan to put in for sure.
Oh yeah. Reach
Well,
one, teach
perfect.
one, baby.
Exactly. And that's what I like about you, Malik. But tell
Mhm.
people how to follow. What are your platforms? How do people get a hold of you?
Yes,
How
sir.
do they how do they watch you?
Yes, sir. I'm on Facebook right now. Malik Thomison, MalikThomison, and I just started a bully page, Legacy Bulls, on Facebook as well. So right now I'm really focused on Facebook, and I'm gonna look to switch over to probably TikTok and just post videos and clips of dogs there as well. But I really want to focus on Facebook mostly because I feel like that's where the most people are. So that gives me the best chance of appealing to the masses. I feel like,
Yeah. Keep posting, man.
for sure, without a
Oh
doubt.
yeah.
Don't give
What
up.
about
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Weddle? Before we wrap it up, I just want to hear what you got coming up in house. I know you got some stuff about to drop. I know you do.
Oh, I just
Oh,
putting you
Malik.
on the spot, my man. Oh,
Yep.
God.
Well, it's a very, very exciting week and a half. We do have 2 confirmations that are hopefully coming, both in-house, in-house females, in-house studs. I'm not gonna disclose what it is.
Yeah.
I never like to post about it till it's actually confirmed. But
Exactly.
two in-house breedings. They both bring something different, but they're geared to bring something different. And the
Exactly.
interbreedings that are going to take place, like we are completely tunnel visioned on where we're going, and I'm very, very excited about 2026 is going to be a very exciting year.
For
All of
sure.
our females that we kept from breedings, they're going to be of age. They're going to be 2.5, things like that we can start breeding. We have a lot of Genesis daughters. We have like 9 productions off of Genesis that are here in the yard. And most of them are females,
Mhm.
and so they will be coming up on age. So a lot of calculated that we've been waiting for a while. So exciting things.
It's go time for sure for y'all. I would say, shoot, get that boy Teddy some treats. You been putting that boy to work, huh?
Man,
Yeah,
I'm about to
yeah.
get him on. We're going to make sure that every credit's going to be able to, no matter what takes place. I'll never ever be in a situation that with Genesis. Me and Amanda just talked about that the other day.
Yeah.
People that own studs, you never ever know what could take place, like the heat, anything,
Yeah.
literally anything. They could chew up there with their water bowl and not digest that, and
Yep.
that could be the demise of them. Like it could be very. So he's only Teddy's a year and a half, but yeah, he's going on ice soon. We're going to make sure that every person that locks into him is going to be covered, plus additional more, because Teddy's going to play a big part here. Teddy is bred for our program. We don't mind sharing him because no one is ever going to use him like we're going to use him.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm not. I want to share the sauce because I think he can help a lot of XL programs out there. He's going to shorten every back. He's going to shorten every muzzle.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
He's going to add a lot of breed type. The H frame is perfect on him. The bone, he's a very, very nice dog, and anyone's welcome to our yard. We don't hide anything with him. So if
Absolutely.
anyone wants to come see Teddy, I got a guy that's supposed to come this weekend, and hey, come see him. Very functional
Sure.
dog.
For sure. I got one more question before we wrap it up. I want to get y'all's opinions on the importance of breeders compared to puppies. So what I'm trying to ask is like, how important is it from the program you buy from?
Imperative. Crucial. Um, I have the luxury of with the dogs that I have coming from people who have continued to support and mentor me throughout the years. So, if I'm looking for pups, I don't care how good those pups look. If that breeder is not someone that I want to have to be connected with for the rest of that dog's life, I just no.
Absolutely.
Mm-mm. No,
Absolutely.
there's an integrity, there's a trust, and the breeder's got to have both. Period. Full stop.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
For me, it's like if I had to go buy a pup, it will be from somebody that's showing they got a fair percentage of winning, and they got to be great. You know what I'm saying? Long as they dogs are functional, long as they clean, and I'm saying long as they what I'm saying here, long as they production is kind of close to each other, I
Yeah.
buy
Yes.
from them.
Consistent.
I buy from
Exactly.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Malik, I believe that puppy is cute, but every puppy does not turn out to be a nice bull.
Exactly.
So I'm only going to invest, and I say invest because I'm going to probably purchase multiple from you if I'm going to purchase from you.
Mhm.
It's a program. And I think
Mm-hmm.
program and breeders is so far and few between now. There's very, very few breeders. And when I say that, or I'm talking about program, there's very few programs. Programs is a consistent look that's developed over time, and the longevity has shown that. You know, a breeder is someone that put two dogs together and got a cute litter, or cute puppy. So I don't
Right.
care how well the puppy is, like the program is what I'm investing money into. So
Right.
it's got to be a program.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Mhm. Chester makes
Yeah,
a good
like
point. He
Chester
says you
said,
have to be a mentor. And I
exactly.
mean, no one better to give that advice than himself. I mean, he's a willing mentor to anybody and everybody. If you see that man at a show, if you ever need any tutelage, he's your dude. It is, again, like I looked out with anybody that I've gotten dogs from, like they became family, and I hope that for everybody to the point where it's like I now moving forward, I can't not have that. That's not going to be an option. So absolutely.
That's
Yeah, I love
all.
when people that buy dogs from us that invest in us because we are. I pride myself on us becoming a program, and I'm saying becoming because the longevity is starting to show where we're a program. I want them to come back. I want updates. I want them
Mm-hmm.
to feel welcome here, where when they come, it's not their first time.
Exactly.
You know, like now the awkwardness or whatever it may be out, like that's out the window. Like your family.
Exactly.
You've sent me pictures, you've sent me updates, we've talked. If you need any sort of advice on anything, I'm going to tell you exactly what feed, where they are with shots,
Mm-hmm.
paperwork, any problems with anything. Like, I don't want to be, because again, breeders and programs are so far and few between. Breeders will just sell a dog and then just discard you. Programs are going
Mm-hmm.
to be there for the longevity of it. They're going to be there to answer any questions. They're not going to go anywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
they
Right.
should be created to, or should transition to mentors.
Right.
Not necessarily, but that should be a whole lot more likely of the facts
An open
than
phone
just
line, if you would, for sure.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Every program, I believe, should be an open phone line to everyone that bought from them because it's an investment.
Exactly.
Yes.
And these dogs are not cheap. I don't know who's watching, but they're not cheap at all.
They're not. And the investment into your program, what they're going to add to your program. So it's an investment to what your program is going to be because they're going to direct you either the right way or the wrong way. So it's an investment. It's a long-term investment. Every single decision should be very calculated. I can't stand the people that are going to sit there and say my female's in heat to wear the studs. There is no form of calculation on what you're even trying to do. At this point, you're trying to
Yeah.
breed for $1 and you're just trying to
Yeah.
get your female bred. I will skip a female's
Mm-hmm.
heat if we don't have that exact stud
Yeah.
prepared for her.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
every breeding's got to be calculated because think about it, like 3 breedings, maybe 4 depending on the female, maybe only 2 depending on the female, is
Yep.
what the breeding lifespan of a female. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying the lifespan because they should live a good life. Females shouldn't just be bred just to be bred and then you throw them aside.
Right.
Yeah.
But the
Right.
breeding lifespans 2 to 4 breedings, so they should be very calculated. Very
Exactly.
calculated, going towards an end goal. But if you don't have an end goal, you're not a program.
Exactly. And that's the
That's
main
right.
thing right there.
Yeah.
People jump in and may not have an exact vision. You need to have a vision before you invest, is my opinion.
100%.
Without a doubt.
You go buy a puppy from just some random person, you have no idea like
Exactly.
who you're buying it from, and especially if they don't let you to their house, things like that. I want to see the mom. I want to see the dad. I
Exactly.
want you to be an open book, especially if you're
Yes.
asking. Like puppies can be upwards 5 to 10,000. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
if I'm asking, I should not be an inconvenience.
Exactly.
Yep.
It should be a priority for sure.
Yeah.
Priority.
You should be able to
And,
give me everything, the shot records,
Yeah.
the embar, like everything should be lined up where as soon as I ask, it's like it should already be ready to give.
Without a doubt.
Hey, Mike, you bring up a good topic. Some can't be mentored.
Mhm.
You know, there's some people that
Yeah.
come in and they feel like they know everything and will not be the non-teachable. It sucks.
Yeah.
You kind of see them go down a just
Yeah.
a path that's of destruction.
Yeah. For sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Like they're in it for the wrong reasons. And unfortunately, sometimes you can't really tell that right off the bat until it's already too late. And then you're trying to mentor them, you're trying to get them to the right place, to the right mindset, to the right path, and they're not having it. And you're
Yep.
like now, then you're like, I sold to the wrong person. Essentially, it's like, yeah.
And everybody could
Yes.
always learn something. That's just life.
Hey,
So,
Sinatra put that he loves that his customers can see the 8 generations on his yard right there. He didn't say that, but he said like the
Still there.
grandparents, great
Yeah.
grandparents. But
Mhm.
Sinatra is like an OG in this game,
I
and
seen a
Oh,
dog
like
yeah.
I
he had
love,
posted the other day. It was excellent. I'm not too sure the name, White and Blue. It was very excellent.
yeah, Malik,
Uh,
follow him. Hey,
Yeah, for
oh,
sure.
yeah.
you and
Oh, but,
Sinatra
yeah.
could go in depths about conversation.
Yeah, I
Oh,
already
he
got him
knows.
on here.
That man knows the lineage of every freaking dog. I swear to God. And like he has pictures that nobody
With
has of
pictures.
these
He's
dogs in
got
their
receipts of
prime.
everything.
He's got
Yeah.
the receipts, and it's
OG,
one of
huh?
those things that I just absolutely love because, like, there's misconceptions that he's able to clear up, where dogs really came from. Like, he's got the receipts because he
That's
was
what's up.
there,
That's what's up.
So yeah,
With the
no,
camera. He was there with the camera.
Yeah, we
Oh, I love
definitely
it.
got that stamp for sure. And we got the
Mhm.
receipt.
Hey, Chester put
Mhm.
something very, very good too. A mentor has to accept a mentee to be able to outgrow them. A proper mentor gets more
Like that,
satisfaction
man.
seeing a mentee pass them than
That's
that's
right.
what a true mentor is. Because if not,
Mhm.
if you're trying to safeguard, if you're trying to stop them from passing you, that's not a real mentor. That's really a money sucking person.
A
Like
hater
you
in
get,
disguise.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you're if you want to safeguard your position, then you're not a real mentor because you're not giving them all the tools to succeed to bypass you.
Oh, perfect.
absolutely.
If you see someone hungry, like give them everything and watch them sprout.
Absolutely.
Mike Green said that's leadership. Absolutely. That is literally the definition of
Yes.
leadership is watching someone, grooming someone to be better than what you are.
But as a community, we're all in it together. So that's what people don't tend to understand. They kind of want to go
Yeah,
at war. But I guess that's just human nature. That's everything, though. But
yeah,
I feel like if we
yeah.
just
That's really
all
competitive.
just coincide together, it would be a lot further than it is right now, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And there's got to be an appreciation and, and a trust. So like, your mentor is supposed, like, they're supposed to be grooming heir parents that, you want this breed to perpetuate. And the only person that's going to do that ain't going to be you. You ain't going to be here forever. So you need to ensure that the people that are going to take the helm eventually have what you have
Exactly.
and then some.
Exactly.
So yeah, gatekeeping is the downfall to essentially any breed, really. So yeah, we got to stop, allowing for gatekeeping. Like find the right mentors, because anybody can give you knowledge, but it's the people that want to see you shine even more than they did,
Definitely
and
Yeah.
even in
difference.
time. That's the difference. That's the right mentor versus just a mentor.
100%.
Definitely a
The right
difference.
Yeah.
intentions by the right people with the right knowledge. Like
Mhm.
if they're willing to give that and watch you succeed and really have the right intentions, that is a mentor. And honestly, I think people are too they're coming in here looking for a mentor because that's a lot of the advice they're getting. Find a mentor, find a mentor. The first person you buy a puppy from does not have to be your mentor.
Not all the
Now,
time.
if you strategically do it and you really, really do the research on that person, that should be an easy transition to your mentor. But I think a lot of people are looking at their neighbor that's breeding dogs as their mentor and they're getting geared wrong. Like
Right.
really do the research and really find someone that's looking out for you and knows what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, because oh, Chester, that's beautiful. Yeah, essentially, like the people that you've mentored, they're your legacy. It's not just the dogs that you've produced
Birds
at
of
that
a
point.
feather.
It's the people you've mentored. They will carry your legacy. And like in moments like this, when people are shouting out their mentors, I mean, people are going to say you, and they're going to be, it's that man. There's nothing like that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Malik, but we always close with one question. I'll go ahead and
Sir.
take it tonight. And we've covered a lot of it tonight. That's a lot of what we've been covering, but I
Sir.
would like to know some detail, and we always end on this. A new person getting into breeding. What's the advice you would give them? What to look for, and just the advice that you would give yourself getting into breeding.
I would say just take baby steps. Try to see what you're doing, see what you want to do, and then go to someone who has done it and talk to them. Just get information first. So I would say first gather information, and then second I would say use your information that you gathered and try to get the best puppy that you can at the time. Uh, a lot of people settle for, what I'm saying, foundation pups. I understand that, coming out the gate strong, you might not have as much capital to put into something, which is totally understandable, but understand what you're buying and kind of understand the flaws that it may come along with, the weaknesses. Um, but yeah, I would say gather information and then just go ahead and use the information that you gathered. And when you feel confident enough, try to go ahead and try to make an investment of your first puppy and go from there. And I'm sure everything else would just downpour, like it
The
did
rest is
me.
academic, as they say.
Yeah, I looked up the other day, and we got like what 6 or 7 dogs. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know when that happened, but yeah, I just woke up and they're out there. So it definitely downpours. It downpours.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
That
sir.
was
I,
great.
I
What
love
you
what Mike put.
saying?
He put love and enjoy your pet first.
Sure.
That's right.
Yeah, these are dogs. At the end of the day, these are dogs, and like they're your dogs. So
Without a
like
doubt.
act accordingly.
And shout out to Mike Green and Gaines Bullies, one of the best programs. And I say
Oh,
programs with emphasis on that in the
yes,
game. One of the
yes.
most consistent. So Mike Green, Donald Gaines, love your program. We got to
Yep.
have you all on again soon.
Wonderful dogs, definitely. Oh, yes, agreed.
But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for giving me the platform, man, and shoot, just thinking of me and having me on. I tune in a lot, and I like to listen and just see what y'all do and what y'all talk about, and then I'm honored to be on here, and I just say to continue doing what y'all doing, and shoot, hopefully I can get on here again after a while, after I do
Absolutely.
some
Oh
after I
yeah.
do some good stuff in the community. Yeah,
We'll
More
definitely
good
run it
I
stuff.
back.
like
You
that.
might as
yeah,
well
yeah,
give
yeah, yeah,
yourself some credit now. No,
yeah, for sure,
absolutely.
for sure. I got some
I
goals
love it.
though. I got some goals.
Yeah, man. But
And
we enjoyed this, man. Appreciate the knowledge. Appreciate the. You're very well spoken. You're
Yes,
very
sir.
educated. I like listening
very
to you.
interesting.
Listening to your lives. I like listening to you tonight.
Yes, sir.
I'll backplay this, and I think a lot of people watch this tonight. So, congratulations on your future endeavors. I know they're going to be successful. They're going to be calculated, and I'll be watching, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you
Yep.
guys. Mr. Bruce, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Sir. Till next
I
All right,
All
think
right.
guys.
Well,
time.
absolutely.
hey,
Yeah, I'm putting this up on the YouTube this evening. So anybody that caught glimpse of it and wants to see the whole thing, again, that'll definitely be the best avenue, other than rewatching after this live ends. If you want to watch it on Facebook, alternatively, again, like it was a goal to have you on here.
Yes,
So the
ma'am.
fact that you agreed to it was actually an honor to us. So we definitely
Yes,
appreciate
ma'am.
you being on here. And I know I can definitely speak for all of us that we would absolutely love to have you on again,
Yes,
and look
ma'am.
forward to your continued education and success to the masses.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
definitely do not give up. Keep what you're doing.
I think I might be
y'all
your
go
good luck
follow him.
charm though, because Kayla wasn't messing with you as hard tonight. I don't think I might be your good luck charm.
I I eased up on her tonight. You ain't lying. Don't worry. There'll be messages
Yeah,
coming.
yeah. I appreciate y'all
And
though.
never stop. I don't
Oh
know why
All right,
I'm
gosh.
sticking
guys.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get off here, Amanda. I wish I could. If I was the host, I would knock her out of here. Take
Yeah.
care, Malik.
Yes, sir. I appreciate
All
y'all.
right,
Till next
man.
time now.
All right.
All right.
All right, we'll see
Peace.
y'all later.
All
All
right.
right.
You guys have a blessed night.
All right.